What's going on, people? Welcome to another video. The Rams win the Super Bowl with a 23-20 victory over the Bengals. And for the second season in a row, after never having had it before, for the second Super Bowl in a row, the home team triumphs in the Super Bowl. Actually, I don't even think before the Buccaneers played in the Super Bowl at home, any team actually played in the Super Bowl at home. So I guess that's 2-0 for home teams in the Super Bowl. Now you know how to win. Just convince the NFL to make you the host team and get there, or like the Vikings in 2017, and then you win. Obviously, you know, yeah. And I had some talking points about the game, and we're just gonna get into it. This is my first ever NFL video, so I'm excited about that. Smash a like on the video if you're excited about that too. We got Matthew Stafford, of course. MS9 is gonna be a massive storyline to come in. I'm very happy for him. He got his Hollywood ending after all those years at the Lions, I believe I'm gonna say, yeah. And all the struggles that he had there, being the star player and being the one that always had to make the big plays, and coming over here to LA Rams, where they convinced him to come over here, and he swapped. They swapped quarterbacks, and I just think he's been fantastic, honestly. And his story was always going to be great. Of course, the other quarterback, who I will be talking about later on, his story was also going to be absolutely amazing. But this story is definitely just as emotional, if not even more, arguably more emotional. After all those years, 2009 #1 draft pick, and yeah, he finally got it. He finally got that ring, all elusive ring. And, the reason why he got it is because of Cooper Cup. Odell Beckham Jr. goes down, and it's just looking, bleak for the Rams, because the Bengals finally figured out how to, handle them. And that, I'd say the second quarter, third quarter, Bengals really had them pinned. Actually, for pretty much the entire fourth quarter as well, up until the last score, which won the game. The Bengals had them. That last drive was amazing. That was a winning drive if I've ever seen one. You just knew with the 4th and 1 and the connection he made where he pinned it on and found, he just kept forcing it into Cooper Cup, and my guy's the MVP, Cooper Cup. That's the MVP. I even before he was officially announced, I was like, Donald had an amazing game, which we're going to talk about a little bit more. Matthew Stafford, of course, but you cannot give it to Cooper Cup, and of course I'm so glad for him, because he won it, and he was fantastic in that game. He was the only target. They were double teaming him, and he was still able to get the plays. He was still able to make the plays, the big plays, and it was fitting that he was the one that cut the touchdown pass, for in that game winning drive, and it was just fitting. It was just really, it's a cliche at the end, because the LA Rams, and it's Hollywood and all that, and we saw the Hollywood sign like 1,000 times yesterday. But it's a cliche to say it, but he did get his Hollywood ending, and we all got our Hollywood ending at the end of the day, because it was a fantastic spectacle. And either way, I was going to be happy with either one that won, because my team, the Kansas City Chiefs, already lost. So unlike for soccer, I don't hold grudges against teams that beat my teams. No, that's only for soccer. I already resent that for soccer. But yeah, I was excited for Joe Burr. I was excited for Matthew Stafford, and they played a great game. They all did, and defense was fantastic. Offense was amazing. I'm just so happy that we didn't have a blowout this year as well. A good game where the defense showed up, the offense showed up, and there were some mistakes, there were some missed calls, but at the end of the day, I think the right team won at the end. The right team won. They had the injuries that went against them. They had the call that went against them right at the start of the third quarter. That was an amazing start to the second half from the Bengals. We knew they were going to come out hot, but we didn't know they were going to come out that hot. Like in 12 seconds, they already had a touchdown. They already had the lead, just like that. And it looked like they were losing the control a little bit in that game, when the Rams, I think, went 13-3 up or something. It looked like it was starting to get away from the Bengals, but the Bengals were never out of any game. They kept themselves in. They got the touchdown, make it 13-10. They were aggressive. They went for it. And that's how even the Rams got the first score, is because the Bengals went for it at 4th down, which I believe was the right decision. They just couldn't connect. A bit unfortunate. good defense from Rams and all that. But at the end of the day, I just think that no regrets for Bengals. No regrets. You guys have had a very complicated history in terms of no success or anything or any form of good performances. But at the end of the day, you look at that. That the one thing that would be said for the Bengals is you look at the Rams and they are well equipped to be back. They're well equipped to be back. I know they're going to lose a couple of their players, and they're going to lose their offensive coordinator, which we're going to be talking about later on. But they still look like they're in good standing. I see them as if any of you really follow soccer, I see them as maybe like a West Ham. Where they've been good consistently for a while, and they just look like they're about to break in to that big time, the elite teams. They've done it, so I guess they're better than West Ham because West Ham still haven't managed to do it, but they've done it, and I'm just happy for them. Honestly, happy for them. I've always seen them. They and the Bills. I see them as really talented football franchises who just haven't been able to get it done, and they finally done. Sean McVay finally gets that first ring. It's a vindication, after being outplayed and outthought by the Patriots 13-3. That was a very, very Dow Super Bowl, if I've ever seen one. And I've seen a few of them. So that was definitely something that had to stink. Get dominated that bad to get just a field goal from a whole Super Bowl. That had to sting. And, a redemption for him. Obviously, it wasn't all in him. That game, I think the Patriots just had his number. They just played great defense, and they just, played great football. And at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. That's how it works. And he's won one today, and, I'm so happy for him. And he gets the accolade of being the youngest ever coach to win the Super Bowl at 36 years old. That's amazing. I'm 24, so, I only got 12 more years. I got 11 more years to beat that record now. So time's clicking. So 2033, I gotta won the Super Bowl to beat that record. I'm coming for your record, Sean. So yeah, just joking. Actually, I'm trying to be a soccer coach, not a football coach. Who knows? You never know what life's gonna throw at you. Anyway. So now we're not going to have any NFL for the next few months. That's pretty, frustrating, but, I do enjoy a lot of NFL, but the good news is I still have soccer. So, if you don't like soccer, you probably want to get into soccer now because there's no NFL until September. So, yeah, that's that. Another one, we're going to talk about Aaron Donald. Oh, yeah, before we do that, I just want to pay a little tribute to Matthew Stafford, of course, the Cinderella story, and Cooper Kupp, the MVP. They are, I had a question mark on there, best tag team ever. Maybe they are the best tag team ever. The connection, the way they were able to figure that out in that situation where you knew that he was going to get all the attention for the Bengals defense, and he was still able to make the clutch plays. That's amazing. That was a game-winning drive right there. You got to be a game-winning player to do that. It's a clutch plays. And amazing. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. They did it. And Aaron Donaldson, I don't know why I keep saying Aaron Donaldson. Why do I want his name to be Donaldson so much? Aaron Donald, 99. He came alive in the second half. Everybody, there's a bit of a cliche that goes around. He's the best player in the league. And you know what? He showed it in that second half. He showed it in that second half. That, he wasn't able to get anything in because the Bengals figured it out, and the offensive line gave Burrow enough, just about enough time where he also was letting it go as quickly as possible. But a couple of missed throws, and I think he kind of lost his confidence a little bit, and that just made him a little bit more susceptible to holding onto the ball a little bit more. And once you start thinking about them throws, in the big games, and the defensive line, figures this out, and they start to put a little bit of beat him because, yeah, there was. I didn't actually know this, but there was like 3 backup players in the offensive line for the Bengals, which really hurt them at the end of the day because they played a very great first half, and then eventually the Rams defensive line just wore them down, and eventually the pass rushing finally started to get to Burrow, and they did great to establish that running game, the Bengals, so that really did give them a little bit more time. But at the end of the day, that the backups of the offensive line actually did catch up to the Bengals at the end. But it's not really an excuse or anything. I thought they played a good game. 20 points, put up 20 points in the Super Bowl. It's not terrible or anything. I thought they did pretty well, and it's one of those things. At the end of the day, you get that chance. I just feel like the Bengals, they definitely are the least likely of the two teams to be back again in the next 3 years or something. But you never know. They still got a good team. They still got a good team, and they're better than they were when they won those 6 games in two seasons combined, and they look better. So hopefully, they can be back. Burrow, I believe, will be back. I don't know if he's going to be back with the Bengals, but I just that look in the look in his eyes. Joe Cool is going to be back. He's going to be back. Eventually he'll get there somewhere, some way, somehow. Look at Stafford. Who would have thought it would take him 13 years to get it when he got picked as the number 1 draft pick in 2009? Who would have thought it would take him 13 years before he got the first ring? And that's just how it is. How it is in sports. You never know how long it's going to take. You never know where it's going to be, and at the end of the day, Burrow this is just his second season, so he'll be back. He'll be back. I feel for him, obviously. Prayers and thoughts go out to him. Amazing season, great performance. Never saw them beating even the Titans, let alone all the way to the Super Bowl. Did a great job at Arrowhead Stadium against the Chiefs, my Chiefs, but, amazing performance from the Bengals. They had to come from behind on the road every single time, on the road in the Super Bowl as well. And, they showed up. They played a good game. And at the end of the day, the Cinderella story, they just couldn't finish it off at the end. Burrow would have been the first ever quarterback picked as the number 1 draft pick to win a Super Bowl in his first 2 years. But I guess it wasn't meant to be for him. And, they just have to try to overcome this pain next season, because actually there's pretty much a curse on this Super Bowl losers in the next season. They usually struggle. I actually watched a video on this yesterday, and they usually struggle. There's like a curse on them, and the next season they can't deal with it. But I don't think this was a damaging enough result for that to happen. So hopefully they will be back. The Chiefs, they lost the Super Bowl last year, and they got to the AFC Championship game again this year. So, you never know. Hopefully they can do well, and they can lose in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs this time next year. Hopefully. But yeah, moving on. I just blabbered on for like a whole time talking about just one thing. But yeah, like I said, the Rams finally did it. They finally did it, and that's just how it is. It's fitting. Actually, that's something I was gonna say. Thank God. That's why you got to keep good notes. No, it's because I was gonna forget this, but it's fitting that the team that succeeds Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl is the team that he won the 6th with the Patriots, which we thought was gonna be his last after that game against the Titans. His last game against his last game at the Gillette Stadium for the Patriots. After that interception he threw right at the end of the game, we thought that was going to be the coup de grace. Then that 6th trophy he won against the Rams, that was going to be his last ring. But then he won a 7th, obviously, and it's fitting that the team that he dominated that much, they only got a field goal against them at that Super Bowl. They ended up being the successes this year. Damn, that wasn't even a hard word. But they ended up being the oh my God. Okay. The successes this year. Oh, goodness. Yeah. And, yeah, that's it. Like I said, Super Bowl 56, I already have a memory whenever I get asked this question. It was a great game with great offense, great defense. And, 43 combined points, that's pretty good. And the defense played really well. Like I said, Aaron Donald and the rest of them, they can definitely hold their heads high, because that was a great advert for football. Good offensive football, good defensive football, figuring it out, fighting to the end, figuring out a way to make it work even when everything looks against you. And yeah, that was fantastic. It wasn't a blowout, and it was a last minute winner. I mean, it was the last 2 minutes, but I'm calling it a last minute winner because I'm a football guy, a soccer guy. So yeah, last minute winner. And yeah, like Aaron Donald, just quick last word on him. That last player, the first player to get on the field as soon as that touchdown went in, he got himself ready. As soon as they kicked the extra point, he was on the field, ready to go for the final possession of the game. And he got the crowd going, got his players going, got everybody going. They all fed off that energy. And then he made the last 2 plays to seal the deal and seal the Super Bowl. And, amazing. And he deserves it. They all deserve it at the end of the day. I always say if you win, you deserve it. That's just how it is. Like, whether it's a poor call from the officials or whether it is like somebody made a mistake, or it doesn't matter. If you win, you deserve it. That's just how it is. To get that far into the season and be able to perform in a big game, be such a clutch player for it at the end of the day. Just misses out on being MVP just because I thought Cooper Kupp, amazing performance from him. And, showed up in that second half, Aaron Donald. But, switching up from the game, we go over to other matters, which is something I mentioned earlier. We got 2 things I got to talk about right before I end this video, because it's almost, 16 minutes now? Yeah. So right before I end the video, I just want to talk about 2 things real quickly. The Vikings now. I believe they're going to, a lot of sources also believe that they're going to be going for the offensive coordinator or the LA Rams, Kevin O'Connell. And, after that winning drive, you might want to consider going for it. That was amazing, though. The fact they didn't have any of their other weapons in, and they were still able to find Cooper Kupp, who was getting double teamed, to make the clutch plays. I think there's something there. So the Vikings I think they will be announcing him as the head coach sooner rather than later. Looking forward to seeing that happen. And then also the 49ers. 49ers, who also, if you remember, Super Bowl 54, they lost against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl game. And they were back again this year into did they get to the NFC Championship game? Yeah, they got to the NFC Championship. They lost to the Rams, right? Yeah. So they were a game away from another Super Bowl. And I just think that, it's fitting that the team that actually did beat them is a team that they should follow suit with, because I think that the 49ers, if you look at that team and look at the way they're set up, I think that they are ready to become not just a 1-time Super Bowl winner, but a 2-time Super Bowl winner. I'm not going to say anything about a dynasty or anything, but I believe that they are able to become a 2-time Super Bowl winner with that collection of players they got, the Deebo Samuels and all of them, and on defense as well, Nick Bosa and them, they got a good team. They got a good team set up. But what they're missing, unfortunately, I love him, but they're missing a quarterback. Jimmy G, my man, I love you, but you're not the mustard. I have a 49er friend and he hates Jimmy G so much, but I actually like Jimmy G a lot. But yeah, he's not the guy to do it, honestly. And I think they need to do what the LA Rams did and find somebody. I think they need to get Russell Wilson. I think he's going to apparently he's going to the Washington football team. But I think that the 49ers need to raise hell and heaven and earth, everything, and get that guy. Throw the kitchen sink, give away some first round draft picks for the next 2-3 years. It'll be worth it. I'm telling you, when you got that ring and you got that Super Bowl trophy, you're not gonna care about, we're not gonna get the first round pick in 2025 or whatever. All that's gonna matter is you did it. So 49ers, if any of 49ers are watching, or any of the owners or anything, get that guy, get Russell Wilson, or maybe Dak Prescott. Ooh, the Cowboys won't like that. But yeah, let's see how it all goes. But I've thoroughly enjoyed this video. First ever football video. There's going to be more in September or whenever it is when preseason starts or when the draft starts. I'm going to definitely be, getting out them videos and getting ready for the new season, because I'm definitely getting into football. I didn't really watch the regular season this year because, most of the games I was deployed, and most of the games were like almost midnight for me over there. And there's like, the earliest game was like 8 o'clock in the night or 9 o'clock in the night. And it's like, and then the other games were like midnight. I couldn't stay up for that. I worked the next day or something. So, I'm just glad that, I'm back now. So I'll be able to watch, get into football and, Sundays have football, like everybody knows. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I'm going to be coming out with some more soccer videos today. Because your boy got to do some predictions and do some reactions and do some previews and all that jazz. But I'm out right now. And oh, before I forget, happy Valentine's Day. So peace.